Well, good evening, everybody. Glad my lovely assistant could join me. My name is Wesley Burke. I've known Andy for long enough for us to be able to get in trouble together, which was actually sometime around birth. Now, some of you came tonight expecting the usual drunken best man speech about how Andy and I have been best friends forever and used to braid each other's hair and play patty cack in, grade school and everything, but I assure you this is not that speech. I have plenty of those stories, but first of all, I'm not that drunk. And secondly, tonight we'll actually be exploring a scientific case study in love and examining one specific individual, our test subject, my best friend, Andrew Greenstein. So, why don't we get started here? As you can see, over the last 20-odd years, we've started collecting data. Since Andy was a kid, he enjoyed certain things. Excuse me for 1 second. Whoop. As you can see, no, I want you guys to see this. It's okay. Now, Andy enjoyed many different activities as he was growing up. Biking, swimming, camping, playing in the dirt, throwing rocks at things, video games. Now, as you see, our first set of data that we look at correlates the amount of time spent playing video games versus the amount of time with female companionship, without female companionship, is a constant gradual increase, and this happened throughout Andy's life pretty consistently. And in fact, sometimes were spent in total isolation. Now, there were, I'm sorry, let's say it. I'm sorry, here we go. When Andy reached puberty, the data was pouring in daily. As you can see, there was a constantly gradual increase of how much Andy liked women. But when he hit age 13, you can see it was pretty definitive. That's the direction he was choosing. Other noticeable trends at this time were the amount of time spent grooming oneself and dressing oneself versus the amount of time Andy had female interest or whether or not they were interested in what he had to say. As you can see, the more he spent time with these toothbrush and comb, the more time he spent with females, which is excellent. But there were stages throughout Andy's life where, again, total isolation was a factor. These were shaggy hair, unkempt clothing style. I'm sure you all saw it. It happened. But as Andy started to age and mature, he found that with some of these similar mannerisms, he was able to maintain female companionship while growing a beard, while being unkempt. This was actually right around the time he started dating Sarah.
Velocity of rocks.
All right, so as you can see, this is around the time he started to date Sarah, like I said. He didn't, hanging out with Sarah, she didn't mind watching video games or playing in the dirt or throwing rocks at things, as you can see by our Velocity poster. But, no, that's okay, so go ahead and flip that over. So, what I noticed mostly, though, was Andy kept sending me pictures of his beard progressing. And I just kept waiting for Sarah to leave, and that didn't happen. And this thing got really bad. In fact, I couldn't print out a clear enough picture to put on that board because it was so thick it was like a black hole. Yeah, exactly. The comb did get stuck in it. But as you can see by our figure A here, Andy grew a beard. Sarah continued to stay with him throughout. But this is why I've come to this conclusion, Sarah. 1 second, Sue. There we go. So, what I found is Sarah is a one-of-a-kind girl. Now, due to the fact that she is an identical twin, she is actually a two-of-a-kind girl. We'll call this the twin factor. Now, granted, Andy, finding a one-of-a-kind girl is about a 1 in a million chance. Due to the twin factor, you're looking at something like 2 to 1 million, right? Which is actually 1 in 500,000, which means that roughly you're looking at about 12 of Sarah's in China. So nice work on narrowing that down, my friend. Honestly, I mean, good work. So, if we take the number of Chinese Sarahs times the twin factor, divide that by pi, times n to the 12th degree, or I mean, throw in a couple square roots for fun, you know, carry the 1, that ends up equaling 2. Now, 2 is a significant number. If we really analyze our data that came in, it takes 2 people to make 1 marriage work. The fractional equivalent of 2 is 2 over 1, so that's where I'm getting this. 2 people to make 1 marriage work. 2 people to create 1 family. It takes 2 people to successfully throw rocks at things, if you're going to do it the right way. And it takes 2 people caring about each other as much as these 2 do to bring all of us, friends and family, together to celebrate their 1 decision. So I would like everyone to raise a glass with me in toast of this successful scientific case study in love from my best friend Andy and his wonderful wife Sarah. Many years of happiness. Let's have a ball, baby.